So in case you were wondering why I haven't been streaming so much, now you know. Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, well, welcome anyway. So today is usually Tomb Raider Day, but I felt like changing it up a little bit since it is a new week. As you can probably tell, I am not in my usual streaming spot. Well, that's because I am doing this, well, at work, because I had a little bit of an earlier shift. But I wanted to still stream with you guys. So I decided, you know what, since I'm in a new setting, I'm somewhere different, I decided to pick back up a game that I felt like I had to abandon a while ago, which is Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, which is, to clarify, not the, excuse me. Not the... I can do this. To clarify, it's not the, sorry, the music's kind of distracting me. Hold on. So to clarify, it's not the console version of Prince of Persia Sands of Time. This is actually the GBA version, the Game Boy Advance version of the Sands of Time that I'm playing here. And I played quite a number of parts during, I believe it was 2020, so it was around the lockdown, I believe, that I did this. And I got stuck at one particularly difficult boss battle, and as a result, I couldn't beat it. I got frustrated after a while, so I ended up giving up on it, and I ended up not picking it up for 4 years. But after going through a bit of this week, Monday we had Giancarlo Esposito, who is famous for playing Gustav Fring in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and then later on with Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian, and then playing some old school games for the past couple of days. And I said, you know what? Let's give this another go. Let's see if I can actually beat it this time. So the odds are not in my favor. I tried a few times off screen, and I was not very successsul. But hopefully I can maybe make a better effort on camera. So we shall see. So without further ado, let's just jump into this boss battle. I did try a few strategies off camera, so fingers crossed that they work this time, though I am very, very, very skeptical. But we shall see. Alright, so let's go into this game, shall we? Alright. So, yeah, I just really wanted to play games with you guys, and it's been a few days. And I know Kern is the one I am still behind on by 2 hours, but I will catch up with it this week. So, thankfully, tomorrow I've got the day off, so I can use that to catch up on whatever I want, which is great. I'm probably going to use most of the time to rest, though, but hey, 'tis my life. So, did try a few strategies here. As you can see, I got pretty far. For those who have played the GBA version, I've also played the console version of The Sands of Time, and then I had started on Warrior Within before PS3 died, and then so I have the HD trilogy of all 3 Prince of Persia games, like the Ubisoft ones, before the PSN shut down. So I could technically still download them, I just can't download them onto my PS4, which is annoying, because it's a really good series. I really like it, and I would really love to play the original trilogy, like this trilogy, onto excuse me, I would like to play this original trilogy on my channel. if possible. Bare minimum, I could do the recent release of Prince of Persia. I just forgot the subtitle for that one, and Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is loosely based on the Prince of Persia universe. So both of those games were kind of fun to do. So yeah, been thinking about it quite a bit. So let's see how far we get here. I've reacquainted myself with the controls off camera, as well as tried a few strategies. So hopefully I get a little bit further this time. There we go. When they bring out the poison is where it gets really... That's what gets gnarly. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, I forgot to put the slowdown ring. And those of you who have been subscribed during the lockdown, you guys might remember I played quite a number of GBA games during the lockdown. Most famously, I did Metroid Fusion, which to date is still one of my favorite GBA games that I've covered on this channel. I've done several Game Boy games. I did try to play Golden Sun. I did do Tomb Raider Legend, the advanced version of it, and I did play a little bit of Lady Sia as well, and of course the infamous Couch Tiger Hidden Dragon playthrough. And I do have all three Mother games as well. Like, Mother 3 is one I'm currently playing off camera, and so far I've been enjoying it immensely. One game I highly recommend playing if you have not done so already. And I think it's been made available for the Switch, if I remember correctly. Anybody can comment to tell me if that's true, but I think it is available for the Switch. Because it was like a huge copyright battle that it took to get even just Earthbound in the States, if I remember correctly, because it took a while. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. I'm trying to... get my chat in here. Anyway. But yeah, I heard the Golden Sun games are pretty good. I just haven't been able to, get down the control scheme for those, because they're just not very natural to me. I don't know what it is to. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like, there's just something about certain RPGs that doesn't really click to me, and it's kind of ironic considering I do play JRPGs quite a bit. Not like Final Fantasy, but like more so Kingdom Hearts. Didn't mean to do that, but hey. But yeah, some things don't click to me. Well, to clarify, 14 will not be my first Final Fantasy game. My first one actually was a demo of 13-2 back when I was younger. And then before that, I've watched my cousins play 6 and 7. So it's not my first rodeo, but in terms of personal playthroughs, well, to clarify, playing 13-2. Well, I knew about 10. I knew about 10 and 10-2 back in the day. But I just didn't have copies of it. And then I sometimes would play my friend's copy of 12. But yeah, like in terms of actually like playing my own copy and stuff. Did I press the slow down ring? I forgot. Nope, I did not. Okay. But yeah, Golden Sun just never clicked, no matter what I did. So that's annoying. It's kind of a shame too, because I heard it's a pretty good game plot wise. One RPG that I've been hoping to get into, however, is the Legend of Dragoon. I heard that's a really good one. But it's kind of hard to... Oh! Whew. But I heard that's really hard to get nowadays. Yeah. I mean, yeah, my first intro was... my first intro to Final Fantasy was actually... It was not even 7. 7 was the more popular one. But... it was... I think it was 8? Let me check. Yeah, my first introduction was technically 8. I know. 7's been getting a lot of fuel. That's why we have Remake, right? But yeah, my first introduction technically was 8. In particular because of the Liberi Fatali intro. Because it's such a good intro. Like, it's so underrated. Which I know people are not a fan of the plot for 8, but 8 was where I really kind of came to know the series, and then 7, of course, was pretty popular. Yep, with Leon and Manoa. Yep. Which I have not lost against him especially maybe like the first time I played Kingdom Hearts. I've actually haven't lost against him a single time in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, with the exception of the very first time. Granted, like, 8 has its problems too, but like the visuals were pretty good for the time. I mean, you can say that for pretty much most of Square's games. Like, they max out their systems, but good. Like, they were infamous for it. Yeah, they still are. You're right. But yeah, I remember like I know they talked about it especially with Final Fantasy. Let me see, Final Fantasy 10 and Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 12. Not really with 7, more so with 8. But I've heard especially like the maxing up was the most infamous with 10, 12, and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. 2 especially, because I remember they were really... like, people were just, like, balking at, like, good God, like, they really were pushing it. And so that's why, like, 3 took so long to develop, because, like, we were in the midst of, like, transitioning engines, too, on top of consoles. So it's like, it's no wonder they took forever. Oh, I almost got it! Oh, I almost did that one hit. Come on. Oh my God. I did it! I think I did it. Yes! The scroll of walling. Hallelujah. I did it. That's weird, like, including the off-camera times, like, 10 tries? That was pretty good. Run towards a wall to make a vertical walling, press A button to jump. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can I do that walling again? Let's see. Run towards a wall. Oh, yeah. Like, PS1 has a loyal fan base. PS2 has a loyal fan base. I actually still have mine. Yeah, PS5. Yeah, PS1 and PS5 are the ones I don't have. Yeah, my PS2 and the PS3, they are the old versions. My PS3 was literally like in that juncture between when it was and it wasn't backwards compatible. It was in that gray area, and I can easily say, unfortunately, mine's not backwards compatible with PS2. But I do have like the old school fat PS2. PS4, it's the regular PS4. I really wanted to go for the Pro, but I couldn't. Hold on, let me get to this section. It's been a hot minute. The one thing I do like about this version of Prince of Persia is that you can actually like destroy the traps. Which, like, most games didn't even allow you to do that. Like, Tomb Raider did it, but it was, like, much later. Like, there's a reason why, like, back in the day, it was it was a POP versus... It was POP versus Lara Croft. Especially with the Sands of Time. Oh! Okay, I see. I got it. And then go down here. Aha! I see how it is. No! Crap! Oh, shoot! I forgot to save! I have to do that whole thing again. Oh my god. But at least I know how to do it. I got so excited I forgot to save. Oh my god. Way to go. Way to go. I got so excited I forgot to save my progress. So I have to fight this griffin all over again. I can't with myself. Okay. That's what I get. But yeah, I love the PS3. Like, I mean, it had its problems, like its big price being one of them. But it did have some pretty good titles. You can't deny that. Okay, I'm gonna restart this. Because I don't remember it going so badly. But yeah, I should have saved. I should have saved. I forgot to save. And I have to do this all over again. And it sucks. Dang it! Just one hit. Just one hit. Oh my god. Ah! I should just cave and just use my sands. I didn't want to though. I should just use my sands. My sands of time. This. But I didn't want to though. I didn't want to waste it. Because I can do it. I can do it. It's just one. I can't believe I have to do this again. Ah! Okay. Also, how's the game volume, by the way? Because, I mean, I can only hear how it's sounding on my end. I mean, does it sound too low? Is it just right? Okay, great. Because I wanted to be sure, because I literally can't tell how it sounds on your end. I can't tell how it sounds on my end. That's the tricky thing about streaming. But yeah, I also recently watched Sinead O'Connor's documentary, Nothing Compares. And, whoo, boy, we really treat our artists dirty. Like, she had She had something powerful to say, and she was unafraid to say it. We don't have many artists that do that nowadays. I know it's very hard to do, especially when you're in a marginalized identity. And she was one person who used her privilege right. And a lot of the things that she talked about turned out to be right many years later. Like, she was far ahead in a lot of ways. And I cried for like the majority of the second half of the documentary because, I mean, ultimately, in a lot of ways, she was right, and we just weren't courageous enough to hear it or admit it. And understandably so. Artists are not perfect, and she had her struggles too. And yet, for a lot of things, she was right on the money. She was right on the money on a lot of things. Especially with some of the contradictory aspects of how we treat free speech and expression here in the United States. We talk about it all the time, and yet, ironically, I feel like we self-censor ourselves and also censor through lawsuits quite a lot here. And we give up so much all for the name of security. Security, what's that? So, watching that documentary just made me realize, like, this is a call for us to be way more authentic with ourselves and our expressions. And I realized that I haven't really done that enough. Sorry, it's hard to like talk serious, talk shop when I'm playing. So let me pause for a hot minute here. But yeah. I feel like it's been a deep call. Like, watching that documentary was a deep call to stand in our own authenticity and encourage people to do the same. And I feel like there's like two different kinds of silence. There's a silence in terms of protecting what is valuable, and in terms of privacy. That's the one we should be supporting. And then there's the silence that we have in terms of survival and the frustration of not being able to speak. And that's the one we need to fight against. And exactly, it is the artist's job, if they so choose to accept it, because I know there's multiple kinds of artists out there, to challenge the status quo. And a lot of times, when we challenge status quo, 9 times out of 10, we are not gonna like it, because it disrupts what we think of ourselves and each other. But then at the same time, though, it's a call for us to do better to each other. It's a call for us to do better to each other. And I think that's why I love anime and music and gaming so much, and movies, because it gives me so many opportunities to challenge that, to really question, do I really act this way? Do I think this way? And sometimes it's okay to not be... Sometimes it's okay not to be comforted. And I think that's why a lot of, at least here in the States, especially a lot of black people are into anime, because it is so overt in terms of challenging what it is to be human in this society. I mean, not that the U.S. cartoons don't do that. Atla does it spectacularly. Yeah, I know. Ironically, the lack of black representation in anime. I know. Like, it doesn't look it, like, but in terms of like the topics that they cover, anime goes into areas that a lot of American shows don't dare to touch, which is the irony. And I think that's why where like the black community has a lot of gamers and anime fans. I mean, I'm one of them, so that kind of that should say something. Not to say it's limited to marginalized groups in POC. That is one thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the big thing. Is like the other thing I think the anime understands really well is that there's a range of people, not just kid and adult, and then occasionally people in between. There's actually a range of experiences they cover, and even with that range, the audience is not limited. I mean, look at the popularity of Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. If you want to go a bit more modern, Jujutsu Kaisen and Spy X Family. Full Metal is another one. Like, Full Metal was like has a whole range. Like, I watched that show pretty young, and I appreciate it in a whole new way as an adult. Like, there's just something about it that just, when you watch it in multiple phases of life, things that didn't make sense when you were younger makes more sense now. And yeah, especially when it comes to female characters, they don't put strength just for the sake of strength. Or for the sake of like fulfilling a quota. It's strength with a spice added to it. But yeah, I mean, Sinead O'Connor, you were wronged in this life. I am sorry that I did not see it sooner, but I am seeing it now, and I hope multiple people see it too. Just saying. But yeah, nothing compares. Highly recommend that documentary. I know for some people it came out as a series. But yeah, go check it out. Really lit a fire under my keister. To just really be blunt with my art. So she did her job. And I think what's even sadder is that the documentary came out right when she was about to release a new album, and she passed not long after the film was completed. So, like, she barely even got a chance to even enjoy the success that came with that film. Well, it was a shame too, because like it's a work of beauty and honesty. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Nothing compares. And the documentary is about Sinead O'Connor. Also, if you have not listened to her music, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Obviously, she did a cover of this song, Nothing Compares to You, which is like what I mean, that's what really like accelerated her stardom. And then this was another song that she did. This was a song that she did initially that started her takeoff in the States. It's called Mandinka. And also, her videos are a masterclass as well as to how to do really good cinematography. Storytelling and cinematography. Really brilliant. And also promote the song. The Prince estate unfortunately did not allow the director to use the Nothing Compares to You in in the documentary. Not Prince himself, because he's already passed away at this point, but the estate, which I find interesting because I don't think Prince even restricted her from using the song for her performances at all, or anything. Like, if they had their issues, but I think that's like one thing that he wouldn't have done was restrict her from using it, because she got famous from it. And obviously even with his problems as well, Prince has issues. Had his issues. But the one thing I know he definitely would not have done was restricted Sinead O'Connor or her estate from using it. So that is one thing that kind of stood out to me. Because he shared quite a lot of songs. Like, the guy had a range of music. But he especially was he also challenged the status quo quite a bit when it came to music, especially music, like, artists' rights. Like, you wouldn't think that, but back when he was known only by a symbol and an acronym, which I know we make jokes about it, but it had a point. You make jokes about it, but it has a point. I know, right? And she got so screwed over in life. And then there's one, and she was a huge fan of Bob Dylan, and she got asked by Bob Dylan, funnily enough, and Chris Christopherson, very famous actor who's also a musician. Like, we associate him more with acting nowadays, but he's also a musician, and he introduced her during Bob Dylan's 30th anniversary concert. And this is like a very, very famous moment, like pretty much right next to the infamous SNL performance. But then when you think about the history that she had lived up until that point, which she actually hung out quite a bit in Rasta and hip-hop circles, which you would not think that until you look at her politics. She hung with a lot of Rasta and hip hop circles in her youth, and so she took great inspiration from them and their political movements, especially. So she sang a Bob Marley song, which is actually an instrumentalized version of a speech that King Haile Selassie did for the UN. I wish I remember what the song was, but I know it's famously known as War. Because it's like a challenge of it's basically a challenge until we accept the voices of many peoples, no one is free. That's like the sentiment that she gave. And in particular, advocating for women, children, and anybody marginalized. That was her big thing. And at that time, for the sake of simplicity and also to make sure my channel doesn't get flagged for this ridiculous thing that I have to do here, there were some allegations that came out of a certain institution that we all know that was pretty important to Ireland in particular. And Irish culture at the time. Still in a way now. that at the time, just people were just not were just not ready for it. They just did they because at the time, like, this information was not. It was not exactly public knowledge, or if it was, like they went out of the way to suppress this knowledge or just excuse it away. And then 10 years later, finally, like 10 years after that performance, finally things were being done. Or things were being talked about. So yeah, the other performance that I was thinking about. So Bob Dylan's 30th anniversary of, like, his performing. Chris Christopherson introduced her to the stage. And, whew, I felt it too. Like, she basically describes, like, her feelings and her experience at that moment. Let's just go with that, and let's not spell it out right away. But yeah, so Bob Dylan invited her to do, and Chris Christopherson invited her to perform on stage, and it was a mixture of boos and cheering that, like, I had never heard this before. It was incredible. And initially, it was supposed to be a different song that she was supposed to perform, but people were being so loud. She couldn't perform it the way that she knew that she wasn't going to be able to perform it the way she wanted it to. And it was obvious, especially for the people who were booing her, that it was basically a way of making sure that she never sang, that she never performed. And so she, in response, sang War Again. And, ooh, and then, like, I remember, like, I think it was, like, Chris Christopherson also said, don't let these guys get you down. And she said in response, I won't. And then after she sang War Again, she cried into his arms. And it's like, that right there, it just signaled that, like, even though, granted, she still performed after all of that, she still released albums after all of that, it was obvious that we lost an important messenger that day. We lost an important person that day. And it just shows how fickle these big industries tend to be. That they focus all on this stuff for the sake of money, never actually caring about the honesty of the artist and what they have to say. They just focus on just be quiet. We don't care about your entertainment. Just not your view, not entertainment. We don't care about your views. Just be quiet. Just sing your songs and leave. Just feed us the bottom line. And she was powerful enough to say, no. Like, I'm not giving you the bottom line. I am using my power to speak what it is. And this industry has screwed over, like, this industry, and by extension, the world has screwed over so many marginalized people. And I'm going to say it for what it is. And who wouldn't respect that? Apparently a lot of people don't. And I feel like she has paved the way for a lot of artists today to be able to speak their truths. So, to Sinead O'Connor, and by extension, all the artists that we have failed, I am sorry. I am sorry, I am listening now, and especially for those who have passed, please rest easy. We'll take it from here. I'm still getting choked up just thinking about it. But yeah, that's what I got from it. Shout out to Mia Magic as well for the recommendation. She mentioned her in her recent book, Intuition. And, I mean, I've heard Sinead O'Connor's work over the years. I've heard whispers. It's like the best I can describe is like whispers. Because, I mean, I was born Catholic, and so, unfortunately, there's this kind of like unspoken rule of like even if you agree with these person's views or if they're right, it doesn't matter, just toe the line. Just toe the line and make sure you don't get excommunicated. Like, don't express that you agree. I know, me too. And like, this is like the two things that I don't like about it. It's censorship. It's another sense of not being honest with yourself, which I'm sure God would not be okay with. I'm very sure he would not be okay with it. B, it's like, once again, it prevents an authentic debate and an authentic effort to fix things. So that way, the cycle doesn't repeat. And then 3, it's also kind of, it's ridiculous when you really think about it, because excommunication, it's like a kind of like sacred in air quotes, sacred shunning, where they believe that if you realize like how much you'll be robbed if you don't. Finally I did it. Okay, I'm gonna save. Phew, almost died there. Phew. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like this sacred shunning, where it's like, they're hoping that like, well, sacred shunning, where they think that like, by realizing how much you'll be robbed by leaving, they think it'll convince you to stay. And then they kind of forget that like, hey, we've got the internet now, aka it's not really gonna matter, you know? Because we have so many other communities now that people will find their belonging there. That might have been better. So in a way, it's kind of time that they caught up. Yeah, exactly. I mean, other ways of connecting. We have the internet. We have other kinds of groups that we could feel ourselves in. But yeah. No, you're fine. I'm not typically this political either on my channel, but I just felt like talking about it, because I mean, it was such a good documentary, and really touched me, and I felt like sharing it. So, ooh, I almost fell off. Oh my god. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I think you're basically the only one in here right now. Yes, I remember what today is. So it couldn't be more fitting. But yeah. But yeah, it's a good thing you're not alone, because I mean, I'm glad you're here, if anything. But yeah, had to process through a lot of feels with this documentary. But yeah, totally worth it. Even if I did end up weeping right before work. Ooh! Oops. Ah! Dang! She snuck up on me! But you know what? I totally forgot how fun this game is. So, like, I'm glad I came back to it. No, she did not. But, like, I'm kind of glad that I came back to it, because, like, I almost gave up on it, actually. Because I played this during the lockdown. I don't know if you remember this. But, oh, man, it's been so long since I played this. So, like, I'm surprised I even came back. Okay, there we go. fucking sneaking up like right when I get to the last hit. Ah. Okay, good. Gonna flip this. Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Dang! Why am I dying in this one now? Gosh. Okay. What the heck? Why am I dying in this one now? Oops. Not that one. Thankfully, I'm near a healing spot. Okay, let's try this again. Dang frames. Aye. Why am I so terrible now? Just when I beat this dang griffin. There we go. Alright, there we go. Finally. Gonna save here. Okay. I think I might be able to go for at least for another half hour before I have to go back to duty. Okay. Just barely. Whew. Another one. I should have saved right there, because that part was really hard. Dang! Oh! Come on! Okay. Okay. Got it. Phew. At least I got a little more HP this time. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. That's why I saved. Okay. Did it. I should probably save here. Hold up. Oh! Oh, brilliant. I have no HP to speak of. Oh! I should have rewound. It's okay. It's okay. I think I saved here. Yeah, I did. Oh, God. Hey. Okay. I can do this. Drop! I. Okay, you know what? Just gonna wait for it to like come back, and then I just go from there. Oh, shoot! Oh, that was bad timing. Okay, there we go. There we go. Are you kidding me? Yo! Ah! No, not you, but you know what I mean. But just, no! I was not in the... just ran really the moment I It's gonna make more sense here. Hold on. Here's why. Shoot! That's not what I meant to do! Not that! That's not why I meant the freeze ring. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. That's why I meant the freeze ring. No! I hate this guy. Oh my god. I should have saved right there. It's okay. I could skip her. Oh! Shoot! She turned! Okay, let's just avoid them. Yeah! Not that one. This one. Oh! No! No, 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 no! Oh my god! I was so close. I was so close. Okay, hold on, hold on. Come on, come here. Oh! I made it. Okay. Okay, please be a fountain. Please be a fountain. Not a fountain, but like a plinth. No! I had to take out those other two in order... Oh my god. Okay. Please be... No! Oh! Oh! Come on. Please be something with life potion. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, not one of those I can jump on, but let's. Okay. I think on that note, since I got this, I feel safe enough to pause here. Because I gotta get back to my usual duties. But yeah, that was pretty fun. So there's the remainder of Geek Week. So if anybody happens to be in the Delmarva area, feel free to bring your DS around, because you never know, you might get a street pass from me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So here's my usual stuff. I tend to do Tomb Raider 2 on Wednesdays, but today I wanted to change it up a little bit since, I mean, I'm not in my usual spot. And Fridays are Sonic days. So more Sonic is happening this Friday. And I also have a coffee shop. So if you want to check that out or you want to just donate, go to coffee, ko-fi.com/Tonders, and you can donate towards my channel right there. Every little bit counts. I'm also traveling at the end of this month, like near the end of this month, so around the 18th. So my schedule might be dramatically altered, be it a complete pause or a difference in content. So I wanted to try out this game just to show, like, hey, I've got more on my roster besides these three. Two of them I can still play with me. So I just wanted to see like what other ones I could do in terms of content, and I felt motivated to come back to this again, which I'm glad I did. Anyway, here's my social media that you could check me out outside of this channel. All of my videos are simulcast, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. If you want to check out my previous videos, I do have some saved on Twitch, but pretty much if you want to see completely what I've got, go on to YouTube. It's right there. And finally, this episode was filmed in the lands of the Lenape and the Nanticoke peoples. If you want to learn more, visit native-land.ca. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it for me today. I kind of have to go because, well, I got work. I got things to do. So, gotta switch to my work side now. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this episode on Geek Week. Hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Happy Hump Day. And, of course, in the words of Master Yen Sid, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I shall see you later. Bye!